Hi, everyone. Welcome to session 3 of our Next Step series. We'll be focusing on networking and building out your LinkedIn for this session. My name is Esther. I'm a career advisor, and then Andrea Mayer is my coworker, who is the director of career development. You'll be hearing from her in the upcoming weeks. Some logistics for our Next Step series. We meet weekly on Fridays from 12 to 1 p.m. Central Time. The first half hour will be a presentation, and then the last half hour will be a Q&A or workshop portion. All sessions will be recorded, just the delivery part, not the Q&A, and we post it on our website as well. You do not have to attend every session. Just feel free to register on Handshake for the ones that you're interested in. Kind of weekly topics, like I said, we're focusing on networking and navigating LinkedIn today. On session 5 on October 30th, I just want to remind you that there is a Minnesota government and nonprofit job and internship fair. You should receive an email to register for that already. It's also on Handshake. And then if you're interested in doing the mock interview session on November 13th, be sure to register for that by October 23rd. Going over our agenda for this session, we'll be discussing your personal branding, understanding the importance of networking, and then creating a LinkedIn or updating an existing one. So starting with your personal brand, what is it? So Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, says that your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. So what is your personal brand? It's a combination of your skills, your experiences that kind of make you who you are. It's how you present yourself to the world. It's how you differentiate yourself from other competition. You have to clearly communicate your personal brand in order for you to stand out and to employers as well. So as you're thinking about your personal brand, think about what motivates you, what characteristics others have complimented you on, what kind of brings you energy, brings you joy, what are your top strengths. These are all different components that make up your personal brand. If you're really stuck, feel free to ask family, friends, coworkers. A lot of times other people see our strengths more than we can. As you're figuring out all these questions, determine kind of what you want to be known for by looking at the audience you're trying to reach. What field are you entering? Who do you want to work with? Employers just need to know why you'd be a great addition to the organization and company. And one way to do so is making sure you recognize what your own personal brand is. Your personal brand is also implemented into many areas, whether that's your resume, an elevator pitch, which we'll talk more about later on a business card, through your online presence, so LinkedIn, social media, Instagram, Facebook, and then networking in person as well. Diving into elevator pitch. So as you figure out your personal brand and kind of how you want to sell yourself, this will kind of help you give a compelling elevator pitch. So what it is, it's a short way to market yourself as an individual. It's important to have one ready to go because you never know who you might meet. So for example, if you're in an elevator with the hiring manager of your dream job, how would you introduce yourself? From the time you get from the bottom of the floor to the very top floor, it's kind of the time limit you have. What would you say? Another way to look at this is a bumper sticker approach. Let's say you have less time than that. Think of a bumper sticker on a car. As it drives by, when you see it, you'll see the message, you'll see what it stands for. That's kind of how you want to present yourself. You want to think of a quick way to sell yourself. A lot of times in interviews or as you're meeting people, they'll ask you, tell me about yourself. And this is kind of where if you prepare an elevator pitch, it'll kind of help you figure out how to answer that question. So for example, you want to look at who you are, your name, current job if applicable, the degree you're seeking of Concordia if not, what are your desired goals, visions, value as they relate to your current or desired field, what are your top strengths that you offer, what are you interested in as it relates to your career goals? Are you looking for a new job, career growth, research on an occupation? Here are two examples. I do want to emphasize that this will look different for everyone because you might be meeting someone and it's like a 20-minute conversation, or it's more of a bumper sticker approach where you have like a minute with them. So you want to make sure you just prepare one and know what to say, and then you'll adjust it to kind of your situation. So for example, if I were to meet someone in like a one-on-one setting, I can say like, my name is Esther, I'm currently studying education at Concordia St. Paul. One of my greatest strengths is the ability to adapt to new situations and challenges. This has played out in my past experiences by adapting to different ways students learn, and finding new ways to teach to reach every student. It's important to me that I continuously grow my knowledge in order to provide for my students. Do you know anyone that I could connect with in this field? Do you know more about this field? In this, you can see I listed who I am, kind of a few top strengths that I can offer so I can adapt to new situations. I love challenges. Kind of what my goal is to grow more in the industry and field I'm in. And then my main thing takeaway is is there anyone I can connect with to learn more? It can be as simple as that, and that will change depending on who I talk to and kind of the situation. So as you figure out your brand and you figure out your elevator pitch, this will come in handy as you start networking. Um, Networking, this is a long definition above, but essentially it's building and sustaining mutually beneficial relationships, looking at an opportunity to learn more about a profession, a company, or a new opportunity. According to an article from Forbes, here are some top reasons why you need to network. It's a great place for you to exchange ideas with other professionals in the field, make you more noticeable in the field. It's a great avenue for new opportunities, whether that is meeting other people or even finding new job opportunities. It's also a great way for you to develop these long-lasting relationships. As you keep entering the field, you can refer to them as a resource and so on. I do want to state that you do have a network already started. Think about those you volunteer with, think about those you attend church with, think about those you follow on social media and connect with, think about classmates in your classes. You're already developing your network as you're here at Concordia. Diving more into professional networking, here are 3 different ways for you to dive into that. The first is just look at your coworkers, who you're working with. Next is LinkedIn, which we'll dive more into later on about how you connect with people on LinkedIn. And then professional associations are a great way to start professionally networking. You're able to stay up to date with trends within your field through these people you meet. You can see how you can contribute more to your field as well. So going into professional associations, essentially what it is, they're groups that are formed that are specific towards a particular profession. They can be at a school, local, or national level. And the goals of these associations is to provide those networking opportunities, help with professional development opportunities, be a hub of resources for you. You can learn more about a certain field and also maybe present different career opportunities as well. To search for these, it's as simple as looking for the industry you're interested in, followed by professional associations. For example, I'm involved with one that kind of connects different college career center professionals as well. And yesterday we met a group of 30 people, and we just discussed different ways we're helping students. We're just exchanging ideas and becoming a resource for each other. So it's a great way for you to meet other professionals and to maintain those different relationships that you build along the way. So during this time, take a minute to just think about who could you be or should be networking with. Maybe it's just with a classmate, maybe you're still in school. Maybe it's with a coworker in one of your jobs. Maybe it's with someone that your coworker knows or a classmate knows. Maybe you are trying to join a professional association now to see who you can connect with in your field. Maybe it's through Concordia alumni, through LinkedIn. Just start thinking about how you can build those connections, and it's super beneficial to have those as you enter your field. Kind of quickly before we dive straight into LinkedIn, I do want to give a few virtual networking tips. I'm not going to fly through these. Feel free to refer to this slide later on. But as you're networking currently, especially on LinkedIn, it will be done virtually for the most part. A few things to keep in mind as you're doing this: check your technology, make sure your computer is working well, it's updated, internet connection is stable, make sure your sound and video quality work well. Keep it professional, dress more business casual in these meetings if they can see you. Make sure your usernames are appropriate. I have a funny story. For grad school classes, I was Zooming with friends before we changed our names, and I forgot to change it back for grad school. So my name was it said Master Esther, so I was getting a master's degree, and it wasn't a big deal, but it was just not professional, obviously. So just make sure you check those things. Prepare in advance. Do your research about the person you're talking with. If you have any questions, write them down ahead of time so you don't forget. Practice your elevator pitch with a friend, with a roommate. Do it virtually so you can test out your equipment at the same time. Limit distractions. Let roommates, family members know that you're talking with someone virtually. Make sure your background is cleared out and not messy. It's not distracting. And then just be confident in who you are. You know what your brand is. You've practiced this. Use this as a great opportunity to make new connections with different professionals. And then always follow up with a thank you email. Feel free to ask to connect on LinkedIn. Just a few virtual tips. Speaking of LinkedIn, which is one of the most popular ways for you to network virtually, we're going to just dive more into how to update yours and then how to use it to connect with alumni. I do want to note that LinkedIn is not for everyone. We've had students in the criminal justice field. If they're working undercover roles, they might not want to use their identity linked with a profession. If that's the case for you, if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact us individually, separately at the end, and then we can kind of see if LinkedIn is a right fit for you. So what is LinkedIn? It's a social network platform with a focus on professional networking and career development. So through LinkedIn, you're able to search for jobs, network with different professionals, research different career paths, and display yourself professionally for employers to see. Here are some stats from the LinkedIn economic graph from September 2020. There are 706 million members are currently on LinkedIn. 50 million companies are connected on LinkedIn. Over 11 million jobs have been posted through LinkedIn, and then 90,000 schools are connected to LinkedIn. So a lot of people. Why you should have one? Employers will see if you have a LinkedIn if they're doing a screening on you, if they're interviewing you. You're able to display your top skills, your strengths, experiences on here. So it's kind of a more elaborative way to display your resume. You can also network with different professionals and ask for recommendations or advice in certain fields. And then you can just learn more. So the people you connect with and the groups you join, they'll share articles. They'll kind of inform you on what's happening in the career field that you're interested in. So I'm going to just pull up my LinkedIn to kind of walk you through each section on what to include. So here's a checklist. I'll kind of go through each point. Feel free to refer back to this later on to see if you have everything that's needed. So this is my LinkedIn page. On here, you'll see a main feed. So this is consisting of people that you follow, groups that you join on what they post. You might see job updates. You might see articles they share. Mine probably relate a lot to either higher education or just updates from other people I follow. On here, you'll see LinkedIn news, what's being promoted. You can see your network. So within your network, you're able to see who is trying to connect with you. You can try to see who's suggested for you to connect. You can follow groups. This is where you'll manage everything that you follow. Next, there is a job board that LinkedIn provides. You're able to set up jobs that you're interested in the location, and also just set up job alerts as well. Messaging, if you're connected with anyone, this is where it'll pop up for you. And then we'll go back to the homepage and focus more on how to update and what to update on your LinkedIn. So there's two ways to get to your profile. You can either go here to the left-hand side and click your name, or go up to the me and hit view profile. Either way, it'll lead to this page, and this page is what employers or other people will see. I'll kind of go through each section, and it's also on the checklist in that slide. So first, you want to make sure you have a good profile picture. Make sure it's high quality, not blurry, professional, and then shoulders up preferably. Make sure it's not a selfie. The first thing people will see, so make sure it's good. You can upload a cover photo here. You don't have to, it comes with a default one. I just uploaded the background of Minneapolis because it's where I live. If you click these pencil tabs, it's how you edit each section. So for this section, I'll click here and show you. This is where you'll update your introduction. So you want to make sure you obviously have a good photo, good cover photo, preferred name. And then you want to make sure you have a good headline. So headline is the next thing that employers will see or other professionals will see. You want to make sure it kind of helps describe who you are. For mine, it's just as simple as career advisor at Concordia St. Paul. Yours can be anything from seeking a summer internship for UX roles, grad student at Concordia St. Paul, or product management and marketing leader in software within IT, or financial analyst seeking a new role, statistics major graduating in December 2020. You just want to list off kind of what you're seeking. And then it's up to you on what you want to add. If you have a current position, you can add that. If you have want to list your school, you can do that as well. LinkedIn also has a cool feature where you can show recruiters what you're open to for work. You can add job titles you're interested in, the locations, and then you can fill this out depending on who you are. So it's a great way for recruiters and employers to see kind of what you're seeking. So next, if you keep scrolling, this about me is your summary. So mine is very short to the point because I already have a position, I already have a job. Before it was 2 to 3 paragraphs describing kind of who I was, what I was seeking, what my strengths are. So here in your summary, you want to make sure you can show off your personality and kind of the top things that you can bring to a workplace for employers to see. There's like an 80-20% rule, 80% professional, 20% personality or personal. You want to have a good balance of that because you want to make sure as if recruiters are looking at this or employers are looking at this, you kind of get a gist as to who you are, who you can, your personality, but then also what you can bring to their team. I would say around 2 to 3 paragraphs in this section, but mine is obviously a lot shorter and to the point. It's just describing who I am currently as a career advisor. So keep scrolling. You can add your resume on here as well. You go down to the experience section. This is kind of like your resume, your job experience portion. Feel free to add any jobs you've worked here. If you don't have it on your resume, feel free to add it on here. I have every single job I've ever worked since college listed on here, and also internships. Then we keep scrolling. I do want to show you education as well. You can add any place you've seen a degree at. I have high school, and then I have my undergrad and graduate degree. You can list kind of what you were involved in, leadership opportunities you were involved in. I'm going to scroll straight down to skills and endorsement. This is kind of cool. You're able to add any transferable or technical skills that you have. So I have transferable skills such as leadership, time management, teamwork, and then also technical skills like certain tools I know like Adobe programs, Microsoft, and so on. And those you connect with can also endorse these skills and kind of confirm that you have them or write comments as well. So I do want to show you that you're able to customize this to what you would like on your profile. So for example, let's say you have a lot of different certifications for your major, you can add a whole section for just that. I added a section for volunteer experience because I had a lot of that for undergrad. You're able to also add different accomplishments. So you see if any courses you want to add on here, honors or awards. This is up to you and kind of what your experiences hold for you to customize your profile. So now that you have your profile set up, the next thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to start connecting with people. I just suggest, so I have the next checklist, which is how to network on LinkedIn. You complete your profile, and then you want to start connecting with people. Think of professionals you know, whether that's friends or family members, start connecting with them. It is a slow process to kind of figure out how to navigate networking, but in the end, it'll be worth it because you'll learn so much about the field that you're entering. I do want to show you how to connect with Concordia to see the alumni, which is an easy way for you to connect with professionals in the field that you're interested in. So what you do is on the homepage, just search for Concordia St. Paul. So search, hit the more and hit schools, and then click on them. So here, if you haven't followed them already, it'll have a follow button, just click follow. And then on this left-hand panel, you'll see alumni. So just click alumni. And then here you'll see there's 17,000, almost 18,000 alumni connected to Concordia on LinkedIn. You're able to search kind of by major. So I'm going to do marketing as an example to show you. There are 5,285 alumni that either were marketing majors or they're working in a marketing field currently in their title. So you see there's a lot of people listed here. Let's say you look on the section, we can filter it even more in depth. So let's say you want to find someone who works in marketing at Target. That gives you 54 alumni. So then when you scroll down, you're able to see who's been working at Target under the marketing field. If there's someone that you're like, wow, they have the job that I want. So let's say Jenna over here, senior creative project manager at Target. You have to first connect with them. And then after you do that, you can message them. And so what LinkedIn will do is it'll send them like a draft message. I recommend you customize it, tell them why you want to connect with them, and then just wait for a response. I will say if you don't get a response, you can move on to the next person, but it does take time, whether that's on LinkedIn or in person, to get a response because people are busy. Their schedules are filled up. But this is just one easy way for you to connect with anyone online through LinkedIn to kind of start that networking process. So you're also able to join different groups, just search for groups related to your field. But other than that, that is kind of a summary of LinkedIn. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I will email out kind of a worksheet to kind of help you guide you on what to include on your LinkedIn as well. And next week, we are diving into searching for jobs where Andrea will present. Like always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at careerdevelopment@csb.edu, or feel free to stop by our office in Polar 124, or feel free to call us to make an appointment. Thank you.